Well, what do we have here? We've got another gift package. This was graciously donated to the channel by a good friend of mine, and I actually took notes. I took notes on what some of this stuff was. We want to make sure that we understand what was sent, why it was sent, and really appreciate what we have going on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to share this with everybody, but this is definitely going to be for the person that sent it to me. Let's open this up and see what we got. We always appreciate things being shared on this channel. So, okay, we have some really thin shim washers. Now, many of you already know this is probably, well, I'll go ahead and share who it's from. This is from Dave. It's going to include pulley. We're still working on the pulley setup. These little shim washers are for that design. So that's pretty cool. Got those in a nice envelope. Let's put those back in here so we don't lose any of those. Awesome. Those are super thin. Pretty cool. Okay. Let's set those little thin washers aside. And just so you know, Dave was going through a bunch of stuff, cleaning out some old stuff. He's like, I'm never going to use any of this. Let's see if Dee's Workshop can use some of this stuff. So that's why he passed this along. I didn't think he was sending this. I don't remember seeing this on preview video. That's a beautiful little hammer. Look at that. Solid brass hammer. That's really cool. That little thing is pretty. I bet all the different attachments or accessories are inside the handle. Oh yeah, look at that. That's cool. It's nested tools. That's pretty cool. Really neat. You know, there's all kinds of this cool stuff out there. That's going to be an awesome addition to the workshop here. Really cool stuff. So he mentioned he had bought these. He had bought a product that it came with a canister, a jar, or whatever product he bought, and it was the worst product or canister that he had. The actual canister itself was really trash. So he decided, hey, I'm going to buy some better quality canisters in order to put that particular product in. And he had, I think, 3 or 4 of them. And he wanted to send one my way. This is actually a really good canister. It's got a nice rubber gasket on it. That'll definitely be used for something in the shop. Really appreciate sharing that. That's pretty cool. So we have here. He mentioned he's got several of these little small containers. You know, if you buy those little nut and bolt assortments, some cap head screws, grub screws, set screws, whatever you want to call them, they come with all kinds of these little compartments. Since then, if you watch Dave's channel, he had set up a new storage system, and he has all these really cool organization canisters and compartments and trays that slide into this system. And so he has these extra trays and compartments, and he decided he asked, hey, could you use any of these? Sure, absolutely. I'm starting to get all kinds of small little parts, and I need to organize them better. So he said, I'll just shoot some of those your way. And so he threw them in there. These will be used for sure. Okay, something in here. This feels like it might be the pulley. There it is. All right. So if you've been following along on the channel, whoops. There we go. If you've been following along on the channel, you'll know that we're still working on the design of the pulley that we have, the pulley system. And this was the final pulley that he made in his workshop. I almost hate to use it. It is a thing of beauty. He did a fantastic job. The finishes look great. All of the ribs and the degrees and everything in here looks fantastic. But he went ahead and used that one to modify for what we think is going to be a much better setup for that pulley system. And really what we're doing is going back to the old roller skate style bearings, the 608Zs. And I'm going to make a custom shaft for those. And then we're going to have support on both sides. That's really why he sent this package, if you're curious. He just sent it because we're trying to come up with a final solution to the pulley issues that I've had. The roller bearings, the needle bearings aren't going to work. These roller bearings, I think, are going to really provide a lot more stability. And the way that they're set is, I think, going to be an ideal design. And that's what those shim washers, those really thin washers, are going to be for. So this thing is a thing of beauty. This is the first time I've actually seen this pulley. Like I said, I almost hate to use it. It looks so good. He did a fantastic job. Great job, Dave. I think this is what was in this little container here. So he sent a really small chuck. This would be something you could put in a drill or a different. It's kind of like a quick chuck, but this thing is really cool. He doesn't use it. He said, I'll just go ahead and send it to you. Let's see. Yeah, I think it came from Banggood, but I'll find a use for that. I think that's a pretty cool little chuck. Pretty cool. There we go. He sent this stupid thing back. So I actually broke a tap off, Arbor Freight tap, and I was sending him some stuff, a package a few months ago, and I thought, I'm going to throw that in there. Maybe he can get that out. I must have welded it in there. He couldn't get it out either. It's in there pretty tight. So anyway, he sent that thing back. We'll throw it in the scrap pile. Okay, he sent a bunch of, these are just varying sizes of grommets or cord. You know, if you're working with any electrical cords or anything like that, these are safety connectors or transitions for different electrical cords or any type of cable that you're running through another object. It takes the tension off of a sharp corner, and you put these things in here. He said he had a whole bunch of varying sizes of these things and decided, I'm going to share those, send them your way. Maybe you can find a use for them. So pretty happy about those. These are pretty good quality too. Really neat. But you put that in your base, and then you run your cord through, you tighten that down, and it secures your cable or wire. Okay. So he had bought a couple of these things. What this is, you can get these on Amazon or any of the usual places. You can actually hook this up to a large 20-pound propane tank, let's say, and you can refill one of the blue propane tanks, you know, with the torch, the handheld ones, and you put your 20-pound tank upside down, you screw this thing on, put this on the tank, you put this on your blue tank, and it will actually refill it. So you can keep those blue tanks running forever, and you can refill them for dirt cheap doing it that way. So he had an extra one of those, decided to share. So that's really cool. I'm glad to have that. He had a whole bunch of these Allen rods. He doesn't need them. He said maybe I could find a use for them, but these are, I think they're steel, like tool steel. They're Allen rods for if you're making a tool or whatever. Even one of them has a detent on the end of it. And these are really handy. Now these are great for like putting in a drill or something in order to drill or, you know, screw something in that's far away. But these are always useful. It's really nice to have a set of Allen rods like that. I'm sure I'll find a use for those. Thank you very much. Awesome stuff. Oh, nice. He mentioned he had this Gerber knife. This is a small Gerber knife. Just a really nice, Gerber makes a really nice knife. This is a pretty good quality one. You just, so you pull that out and you can close it up. Who doesn't like a really good small knife? This is a really nice small knife. There we go. Really cool. Appreciate that greatly. What else do we have here? Okay. He told me he's got this sharpening stone. So this is super special, and I'll tell you why. Dave shared this with me, and he sent this my way. This was a sharpening stone that was his dad's. He didn't have to share this with me. He didn't have to send it my way. But Dave sent this to me knowing that I'm going to treat this with care. I'm going to use this and enjoy using it and appreciate where it came from and the history behind it. Anytime somebody's going to share something that their dads used or people that meant something to them used in a workshop, I really treat that stuff with respect and care, and I enjoy using it. I think of those folks that were in the machine shops or their hobby shops or they're just their home sharpening their knife or doing whatever they did in their own home shops. I really am grateful and appreciative that Dave thought enough of me to send something that was his father's along to me for my workshop. So I'm really appreciative of having this and excited to use it in the shop. I'm going to take really good care of this. Thank you very much for this. I'm going to set this over here. So Dave told me about these. He bought these. These are little metal. I think when he first started getting into welding, he bought these magnetic stands or clips to mount onto different things. And he didn't care for the quality. Like this magnet pops out of there. He said one of those would pop out. That one just came out of there. We can always figure out how to epoxy that in or secure it better. But yeah, these you know, you can mount them different ways, whatever you're working on. So he thought he would share them. I figured I could figure out a way to use them, and I appreciate that. So that's the story behind those. Look at this. This is a really nice chuck. This one was his dad's as well. So between the sharpening stone and this chuck, these are the most prized possessions here that I'm going to consider prized possessions for my workshop. I really appreciate Dave sharing these with me. I am going to be really careful with these. I'm going to use them and enjoy using them. But this one was also his father's, and he decided he would share that with me as well. There's a taper on the end of it. I'm hoping this is Morse taper 2. We're going to find out. It might not be. Thread things in and unthread them as you need. But really is, it's pretty neat. If this fits in the tailstock of my lathe, this is going to be very, very useful. It's quick. You know, you can hand tighten it, and it'll be great for using with softer materials. I'm really happy to have this, and I'm really appreciative that Dave thought enough of me to send this one my way as well. It's awesome. Thank you again for that. We'll test that in the tailstock. Oh, interesting. So Dave explained what this was as well. He explained what all these tools were to me. This is, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to use this. I want to test this out. This is an RPM gauge, and you're supposed to be able to mount this in the lathe, and you run it for 60 seconds, and then the dial's going to tell you what your RPMs are. And I don't know how to use this thing. I got to figure it out, but it's a pretty cool piece. If you spin this, you can see that this dial turns. So it's all based off of spinning it for X amount of time and then counting and determining what your RPMs are. But that's really cool. This thing was made in the USA. It's a Craftsman. So I've never seen one. I think somebody's got a channel, or it popped up on YouTube where one of these things popped up, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't even click on it. But that's what this is, like a manual RPM gauge for your lathe. So I'm kind of excited to try that. We'll do that in a future video. But that's pretty cool. I'm excited to try that one out. So this is a tap and drill index. This was one that Dave said he wasn't using. He wasn't going to use it. And so he sent it my way. And I should be able to put the drill and associated tap indexes, or the drill and taps, into this index so that I've got them conveniently together. You put your tap and your drill that goes with it, and you just open this up and you're ready to go. This is metric, so I'm going to go through my different taps and drills and see what I have, and I'll fill this up and have it ready to go. But this is pretty cool. I don't have anything like this, so really appreciated to have that. He sent the Machinery's Handbook Guide. Now, I know you got the Machinery's Handbook, which is that huge, honking, thick book. But this is a guide. And I assume it's a condensed version. I'm not sure. But there are... I'm kind of curious what the difference is. If you're curious, you can read that. Pause it. That's pretty cool. I always like the literature to go along with the different materials and different things that are in the shop. But I definitely want to go through that and check it out. Really cool. Always appreciate the literature being shared. Thank you very much. Let's go try that. Let's go check this out and see if this is a Morse taper too. So let's see. We'll be real careful with this. It does fit in there. You know, I think that might be a Morse taper too. Fits in there nice. Now, it's not going to pop out because I don't think the end, yeah, it would end up getting wedged in there. But I could use this for, you know, just being able to hand tighten some small drills, things like that. It would have a smaller taper. I'll definitely use this. I want to check this thing out and see how much I can use that. I may have to just put something back in there. I don't know. I don't want to get that stuck in there. I could always take this off and tap it out. But I believe that's a Morse taper too. Really cool. Thank you very much. I can use this for sure. It fits in my tailstock. Excited to have that. Love having the legacy tools, the history, the things that the older generation used before all of us. Really cool stuff. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. I like to share the things that I get with everybody out there. It's nice to have friends. It's nice to have people that just want to share some of the tooling that they have. I wish I had more things that I could share with Dave. Dave's been doing this stuff for a lot longer than I have. He's just accumulated a lot of different things, and he just wants to pass those along to me. I really appreciate that. I will use this stuff for sure in the workshop, and I hope someday that somebody connects with me and is starting out, and I can pass along some of the stuff I've accumulated as well and help them in their journey of learning everything. But I really appreciate Dave and his friendship. He's helped me along the way. Neither one of us are super experts in all this. He's a hobby machinist. I'm a hobby machinist. He certainly knows a lot more than I do. He's a perfectionist. He does a fantastic job with the projects he works on. You can see that in the work that he did with this pulley. Thing's a thing of beauty. And, you know, I just appreciate that he's stuck with me and wanted to help me with this. So I know everybody's got their own style of working in the workshop. Mine's different than Dave's, but we both play off of each other. We work together, and we just like to collaborate on a lot of things that we do in the workshop. It's like having a friend in the workshop. So hopefully you find your friend to work in the workshop. I don't have anybody around locally, so this YouTube thing has become my community. So I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy me sharing this kind of stuff, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you, everybody.